Trade deadline coming up a week from today. I think we can all accept that the Bengals are not going to be major players in that scene at all. And when I say trade, I mean, could they pull off a trade? It'll probably be for a name that's not going to get everyone all like super jacked or excited. Could they make a light trade? Possibly. But I think we can all agree that they're not going to make any significant move that's going to make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside moving forward. So we're going to have a little exercise right here. You guys are now the head coaches, every single one of you. You're a head coach, you're a head coach, you're a head coach. I'm curious, if you are Zach Taylor, if you are the head coach of this Cincinnati Bengals team, and the ingredients to make a meal, it's right in front of you. You're not going to get any more ingredients. You're not going to get any change. It's exactly what's in front of you. How do you make this meal better? How do you make this team better? What are you going to do to maximize the talent that's on this roster? I think the reason that it's so frustrating is because you comb through the roster, even on defense, as bad as the defense is, you see names that are like, I know that's a good player. It just doesn't make sense. How do you have this many good players even on that side of the ball that struggled all season, even going into last year, and it just not work? What are we doing wrong? Offensively, even with T. Higgins out, why are the Cincinnati Bengals still not being as explosive offensively the last 3 weeks as what we've seen the first month and some change of the season? You're the head coach. What you have to work with is right in front of you. What adjustments, what are you going to do to make this team better in 2024 when the final 9 games of the season are upon us? I don't know who wants to start. I don't care who wants to start. But the first head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals in this room is who, and what are you doing?
I'll take it. Not a lot you can do on defense. Not a lot of pieces. So we're going to try to figure out how we're going to be able to score 50 a game.
Yep.
Because that's the only way the Bengals are going to be able to win. And the way you do that is you don't worry about if guys don't know the playbook or if they might run the wrong route every now and then. If they can run in a straight line and catch the ball for 45 yards twice a game, you're going to play them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play Jermaine Burton over Andre Yoshivas because we're done watching 80 get 60 minutes of cardio out there on a Sunday. He doesn't know how to run routes. The only time he gets production is on a Joe Burrow scramble drill when he can find open space in the field, oftentimes in the red zone where it's a short area that he has to work with. He's not a good receiver. It's a great story for the Princeton kid. He's not a wide receiver 3. We're going to give Jermaine Burton a chance. Jermaine Burton, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, the only 3 receivers I'm giving more than 10 snaps a game.
Okay, I like that.
Mike Gesicki, let's count him as the 4th receiver.
All
Eric
right.
Gall's starting at tight end. Mike Gesicki will work in at tight end. He'll be the 3rd and 4th receiver. Burton will play most of the receiver snaps. And then at halfback, it's all Chase Brown with a little bit of Zach Moss. That's the only way you're going to help this team out. On defense, Von Bell looks slow. The only thing I can think to help that is Jordan Battle hasn't looked great, but I'd at least give him more run because we've seen what Von Bell can do, and it's not enough. So I'd put Jordan Battle out there on defense and then kind of just pray when that side of the ball is out there. Hope McPherson can figure it out because whether you like it or not, he's going to be your kicker for the long term. But I think on offense, you got to take the upside at this point, and that upside comes with Jermaine Burton over Andre Yoshivas or Charlie Jones or anyone else that they've been throwing out there at the wide receiver 3.
Okay, I like that. I think that's a recipe for success. If I were the head coach, I'm done playing conservative. I'm done going into each game, and we're just going to start settling for field goals. I'm done with it. We're going to start going for 4th. I know the Bengals go for 4th a lot. When you cross midfield and it's 4th and whatever, 4th and short, you're going for it. That's what you're doing. You're going for it. You have Joe Burrow, go for it.
And we're going to keep short.
4th and anything under 4th and 5, you're going for it.
Cool.
No matter where you are in the field, you're going for it. You're going to get Jamar Chase downfield. Run him downfield. And then you're going to throw it deep. You're going to throw it deep to somebody. I don't care who he's throwing deep to. More than 15 yards downfield, somebody's catching a football. Because I'm tired of watching Jamar Chase play right by the offensive line, just sit there, and we'll just dump little screens or little swings, little whatevers to our best wide receiver. Throw the ball downfield. I watched George Pickens and every other Steelers wide receiver last night torch that Giants defense. Torch them. And we're unable to do it. Zach Moss, I thank you for your service. You're no longer getting touches. Chase Brown, you get all the touches, and we'll go from there. If you want to do some screens, if you want to do some passes to Zach Moss, feel free to do that. Jacob kind of mentioned my other point, which is Jermaine Burton needs to play football. There's no reason. Yoshi hasn't been good enough to warrant having that wide receiver 3 spot. It just doesn't make sense to me. I've never really understood it. I've never been a Yoshi guy. I think he's serviceable. I think he's fine, but he doesn't win you football games. You're never going to win a football game on the back of Andre Yoshivas. Mike Gesicki, I don't even know if it's Mike Gesicki as much as keep involving the tight ends as much as possible. I think Eric All has been pretty damn good this season. And if you're able to throw the ball to one of your tight ends consistently, you have an option there. You have a third wide receiver in the aggregate. Make it happen. The offense has to score points. They have to score a ton of points to be in these games. The defense isn't good. We've seen it. Honest to God, there's nothing you can do to fix the defense unless you're going to make a trade, which we know they won't. Bengals need to focus on somehow getting the ball downfield as quick as possible, or do that drive they did against the Eagles. 10-minute, take every second of that quarter and go score a touchdown. Keep the defense off the field for as long as you can. That's the method for success. The Bengals offense should be a lot better than it is. I blame play calling. So if I was head coach, that would be another thing. I'd give up play calling. I'd give it to somebody else who knows what they're doing. And then we'll go from there. Joe Burrow needs to be throwing 2 touchdowns a game at least. He needs to be throwing 250 yards a game at least. Like this is how the offense was supposed to be built. Not dink and dunk your way down the field. Throw the ball. That's what I would do.
Fair enough. And I'm glad that you brought up giving up play calling, because I think that's something realistically that the current head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, if they have another week where that offense looks the way it has for the last 3 straight games, I think some internal change has to take place just to kind of give some fresh air, just kind of breathe some life into this team a little bit, because they're flat offensively. But Casey, I have not forgot about you. Don't worry. I see you scooted up. You're ready to go. Coach McAllister, how are you fixing this Cincinnati Bengals team?
Man, there's a lot of things that you could do to adjust this team. But for starters, it's playing your best players and only playing your best players. I'm tired of putting in guys that do absolutely nothing for this team. Sam Hubbard, gone. I don't care how much people love the kid from Ohio. He provides you nothing. Miles Murphy doesn't provide you anything at the moment, but at least he's got a little more run, that he has some time to progress and show you something. Cedric Johnson, I don't know where he's at. That's a rookie that we haven't seen much of yet. I would give him some run. Von Bell, I'm kind of out on Von Bell as well. I would put in Jordan Battle, let him try to win that job back. I mean, he was the highest graded safety rookie last season, so there's got to be something there. Defensively, there's just not a whole lot you can do. But I think the best course of action is, if you already know you're going to give up 50 points a game, I think the best thing to do is to just take a page out of Brian Flores' book, copy exactly everything he does. He's the best defensive coordinator in the league. And you just blitz. You just blitz these teams till they can't stop you anymore. And if we don't have the guys to be able to do it, put in the young guys that are fast enough to do it, because it works. It's effective. It gets the ball back to the offense, which is how we're going to win ball games. So that being said, Burton, he's going to be playing a lot more snaps too. Just like Jacob said, there's no reason why Yoshi should be playing the entire football game for the most part as the third receiver. It's just not working. He's not good enough, not explosive enough. Burton has more explosive plays than I think most of the team. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing Burton a lot more. Eric All is going to be my starting tight end. Gesicki's going to find a way to get out there as the third, fourth receiver on some plays. And I'm going to throw the ball probably 85% of the time. Clearly, the offensive line can't run block unless we scheme something, which I just don't know if we have the coaching staff to be able to scheme something like a great running attack. I know they can rely on Joe Burrow to get it done. And I think I'm just tired of watching Joe Burrow on third and fourth down having the opportunity taken out of his hands, where we call plays that are design screens or designed to go to a specific target. I'm tired of that. I want to give him the options. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'm going to roll him out of the pocket quite often because the offensive line's banged up and it's not very good at the moment. So I'm going to give him all the opportunity to be able to extend the play, make the right options, the right reads, and be the quarterback that we know he can be. And that's how I'm going to solve this Bengals team for the moment. If you want to know what I think they should truly do, they should probably find some like Ethereum crystals, maybe a shaman or something, and go back in time and just like fix the mistakes they made in the Super Bowl and just win that. So then we don't have to worry about this. Because obviously there's just like no other option,
That's
to be
right.
honest with you.
I feel like the reception margin in each game is very funny too. Bengals have the top 2 guys who get like 20 catches, and then the other guys that are on the team too, they get like 3, all of them combined. So
7 targets to non-Jamar Chase wide receivers against this week, and 2 catches, 45 yards. 1 catch, 41 yards from Jermaine.
Yeah,
Burton.
that's tough. Maybe more Trenton Irwin and Tanner Hudson.
Trenton Irwin and Tanner Hudson, that would actually, I take everything I said back. The first thing I would do, we don't even need them. We'll go 51 out of 53.
Okay.
See ya, T.I. and Hudson. I mean, those guys are useless.
Big catch.
And big fumble.
I don't know. First of all, everyone, all those suggestions, look, again, because they're not going to acquire a player at the deadline.
Right.
And to be fair, their biggest deficiency is defensively. And I don't think there's one move. You go get Max Crosby. Great. Fantastic. Super. You're getting to the quarterback a little bit more. But I don't think it doesn't hide all the other deficiencies with this team. Does that make you better? Yes. I don't think it's like, all right, all of our problems are solved, right? Like,
I kind of disagree. I think a dominant edge rusher would mask
Would that?
a lot of the
Okay.
deficiencies. But I do think that that's just not a feasible option for this team. Like, they're not going to go and spend the acquired draft capital to go get a Max Crosby, and they don't have the cap space to afford him either. So it's futile just talking about it because Max Crosby is just too good. There's other options out there, but I don't think that those are dominant pass rushers like Max Crosby is. So it's just like there's only a few guys that really change the look of your defense, mask those deficiencies, and they're just too hard to get.
The level of one player that would fix this Bengals defense is a level of player that, A, probably isn't even on the trade market if we're being real.
Yeah.
TJ Watt.
And B, right.
Yeah.
Or B, is an amount of picks that the Bengals would never give up. And most teams probably wouldn't give up.
Yeah.
Not even a Bengals conservative thing. Like, you're talking about 2, 3 ones for a lot of these guys. I mean, we're talking about the Max Crosbys, the Myles Garretts, the Jeffrey Simmons of the world, the real dominant D linemen. Those guys just don't get moved very often, and when they do, it's for a king's ransom.
and a king's ransom that I don't think the front office has really had time to thoroughly sit down and weigh those options at the midway point of the season.
And with the amount of holes this defense has, is it a great idea to give up a ton of draft capital for one guy? I don't know.
Yeah. And that's like what the point I was like getting to with that was I don't think there's one move you can make that totally erases all your defensive deficiencies. So that's not coming. And offensively, sure, you can go get Mike Williams. You can go get a third receiver if you want. But I think that they have that guy. I'm here to tell you right now, I don't care if Jermaine Burton's the biggest jerk in the world, if he doesn't say hi to coach when he walks in the locker room. I don't care if he steals other people's parking spots. I don't care if he's reaching in pockets while people are out in the field and he's stealing money. I'm joking, of course. I don't know really what has led to him not being out on the field, but you've seen when he is out there, you see glimpses of it right off the bat. I don't know what the issue is that's leading to him not getting the time that everyone feels like he needs. But get him out there. I don't care. At this point, you desperately need someone out there to go spark this offense. I think that's the guy there.
If he's just a one-trick pony, like if he can only run go routes, it's been very effective so far. Like he's seen targets and receptions, and I think it's starting to broaden a little bit more. If you look at the film, like he's running other routes, and he was targeted in the red zone. Like there's more opportunities for him. I'm hoping that that's a sign that we're going to see more of him. But, man, like he stretches the field. He makes it so more guys are open. And same with Gesicki. Like, I don't understand. Like, I get the same. Like, he was filling in T. Higgins' role, and he's probably the same body type, runs the same routes, and you can't really do that if T. Higgins is there. But, man, we got to get him involved also. I don't know how they do that, but it just seems like we're wasting away a lot of the talent that's there just because they don't know the full playbook. Like that's, I don't know. You got to be better than that. You got to find ways to get those guys involved.
Let's shorten down the play calls. Let's go. All right, Joe Burrow's in the huddle. All right, Spire 2, Y banana. Jermaine Burton, you're running a streak.
Yep.
Call the play. All right, Jermaine Burton, you're running a slant. Just add that at the end and just let him know where to line up and what to run, because he clearly doesn't know where to line up and what to run or when he's on the field. But when he is lined up and running the right route, he's making great plays. And we don't have anyone else that's making any kind of plays, so you have to find a way to use him. It's just the position you're in right now.